What's up?
What up, y'all? What's good, man? What's good?
It's been a while.
It's been a minute.
But the more things change, the more they stay the same. Believe it or not, I mean, here we are, April 23rd, the day of this recording.
Yeah.
But Black Panther's still in the top 5. It's still in theaters. It's still
in
making money.
And it beat the Titanic.
It sank the Titanic.
Wow.
And I'm thinking, and then while we on it, and the news is fresh.
Yeah.
You know, James Cameron now saying, I hope Infinity War, come on, guys. I hope, people get Avengers fatigue.
No, not with this guy involved.
No.
It's not about the Avengers in this movie with these stupid Hollywood guys. I don't understand. But anyway.
I mean, God legend is on. He has made some of the biggest movies and some of the best sci-fi movies. The Terminator 1 and 2. Avatar for what he's done things, but
he don't see the shift.
He said some real derisive remarks about Wonder Woman last year, and then now he's coming out talking about, I guess because he found out that his beloved Titanic got sank by Black Panther now, and it's the third highest grossing film in the continent. That's behind Star Wars: Force Awakens and Avatar. He still have something up there. I mean, why is the guy complaining? What the hell? Can't we all just get along? So, with that being said, Black Panther, the monumental steamroller, and also beyond that, how can you be mad at a film that has now accounted since beginning of this year, accounting for more than 25% of the total gross of all movies?
Because it's not his film.
Could be. But even beyond that, even for Marvel films, Black Panther now made more than Iron Man 1, Thor, and Captain America put together. It made more money than all three of those.
Thor 1?
It made money on all of them.
All of them, okay. Right.
Iron Man, I just said, Iron Man, Captain America, they made all of them put together.
Got you. Sheesh. Good job, Coogler.
Yeah, shout out to Coogler. He's now a $1 billion director. Straight out of Oakland, congrats.
We made it.
So, without, further ado, the other elephant in the room is that we're going to see finally the culmination of 10 years of filmmaking. It's not Black Panther. I'm glad everyone got turned on to Black Panther and slightly give a little more credence to comic book movies, but you got to understand context. And the thing about it, if you say something like, why is he wearing the same outfit, or why is he doing the same things? No, he's not doing the same things. If you want a quick refresher, the best two things that you might want to see, you might want to go see or watch Civil War, which is on Netflix now, for now. And you might want to see Thor Ragnarok. You want to see those two films. If you've already seen Black Panther, I would highly recommend
Black Panther 9 and Thor Ragnarok.
No, but then as far as the events of what happened and why things are where they are, as far as going into Infinity War.
Oh, yeah.
Because if I'm not mistaken, from what I've seen, the first few minutes is going to happen immediately what took place in Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And Black Panther is here on Earth while that's happening out in space.
Right.
So, yeah, you do get more of a background and more of a feel for the character and understand the importance of why things are where they are. Because it's going to be them coming together for the first time. So, if you're out in L.A., God bless. You've seen it tonight.
Seen it tonight, man. Jeez, that's pretty tough.
Or tomorrow. I don't know how the hell they shoot doing that tomorrow.
I don't know. Well,
but
I think it's all week celebration out there. So, whatever.
It's breaking records, and that's not alone. Also, Deadpool 2 pre-sale tickets are breaking records for rated R movies.
Nice.
So, yeah, it's a lot going on, but this has been a long time in the making. These two magazines were the preludes. If you want to go to, I'm not sure if you can find them. Digitally, you can find both of these issues. It'll give you some background as to what happened as far as previous movies, and they bring you up to speed what the Captain America characters and some of the other characters are going through right before we watch it. It's helpful. Because there's only one movie that gives you a scroll, and that's Star Wars. So you're not going to get a scroll with this movie. So the more insight you get, you probably get some more enjoyment out of it. But they've been hinting at this for a while. This is 2 of the 3 covers from the Vanity Fair that came out late last year. So it's been a long time coming, and I highly recommend that, you have context and understanding what's going on. It's good to see the characters, but understand why the characters are there. You'll get more out of it. At least that's how I see it.
I mean, I see the same way, but I unless you're talking to the moviegoers who's not familiar with Marvel and all that, this is. I think this movie is going to be the epitome of comic book movies. So yeah, it's very important that you get some insight and know what you're about to walk into and watch. It's just not going to be put on superhero costumes and we just stand on our hands on our shoulders and do stuff. Nah, it's going to be like a lot of storylines and stuff going along in this movie. So it's very important that you do understand the context. And understand that, if you're saying why Black Panther wear the same clothes, I mean, he's a comic book character. It's like, Spider-Man, why you still wearing that red and blue suit, man? What's wrong with you,
and
man?
Honestly, if you want to know
comic
the truth, no one is wearing the same costume except for Doctor Strange and Captain America. Captain America is Nomad in this movie now. He's not Captain America. Everyone in that third movie shared their original gear.
That is true.
Thor shared his hammer and his original garb.
Except Spider-Man, because Spider-Man get a chance to get to the third movie.
But he didn't get to the third movie, but he's
definitely changing his costume.
He changed his costume. Yeah. Iron Man is wearing the nanotech suit, so that's different. Black Panther got a new suit, because if you recall Black Panther, he got a new suit from Shuri in Black Panther from Civil War.
I think everyone's going to need a new suit just because of the danger that's coming anyway. So, it's definitely going down. 4 days away from watching mayhem from this purple guy who's very angry and want to collect these gems. Yeah, dude. I mean, I kind of block everything out, but I was like on Instagram and I saw the freeze frame of Thanos about to throw the moon. I'm like, golly, yeah.
I highly recommend that you see it on a really good screen, preferably Dolby.
Yeah.
Icon IMAX. Well, the whole movie was filmed in IMAX. If you thought, depending on your Black Panther experience, an hour of that movie was filmed in IMAX, including the ritual scene and several other scenes was filmed in IMAX. So I've seen it on a regular screen, and I've seen it in IMAX, and I've seen it Dolby. There's definitely a difference. It's not just some marketing scheme. Yeah. I mean, if you get in the Dolby Theater and AMC River East here in Chicago, I don't know where they are in other cities, but if you go here, they actually have, you can see the series of speakers along the walls and in the ceiling, and you're vibrating. I mean, I saw a Quiet Place, and I jumped at a couple of those scenes because it immerses you in that whole experience. Word. Plus, it's that pure black. It's the colors pop. It's an awesome experience, and this is to date Marvel's longest movie ever.
Yeah. So go and see it. I know you're going to see it. I'm going to see it a few times. It's a celebration this month, man. I mean, yeah, it's been an eventful month, and the countdown's still going on. You know what I mean? So we still out here, and from there, we been doing a lot of traveling here and there, back and forth. Not only through Chicago, but you took a trip,
right?
It's
not because it's not just it's not just a Marvel thing. It's a whole resurgence with the comic book thing. For instance, we'll get into a little later, like very shortly. The C2E2, this is one of the largest ones. Saturday, purportedly there was at least 100,000 people there.
Nice.
So. It's just crazy,
those people there.
The popularity. Yeah, it's people that I didn't know would remotely even attend an event like that, and it was kind of different. So it was a good experience. So, but even at South by Southwest, DC Comics had a whole corner. They had a pop-up store.
Nice.
I mean, first they had the master panel with Mark Millar, Jim Lee.
Nice.
Bendis.
What up, Bendis? Brian Bendis.
And Frank Miller.
Nice.
In addition to a couple of the writers and producers from Krypton. Because DC TV has been killing it. I mean, they just finished up Black Lightning this past couple of weeks, and it's awesome. I mean, at first, you look at the previews, you're like, yeah, I'm on the fence, but I'm telling you, it gives a very in your face frontal view of life in America. Everything from crooked cops, how they on the take money and can frame you, and just like that ruin your life, to the whole like social engineering where they say, hey, we wanted people to be docile in this community, so we gave a vaccine or we push in drugs, and this is the result of those experiments. And they're still doing experimentation. So it's a lot of very contemporary ideals in Black Lightning, in addition to an awesome cast who all look they take the role seriously.
Nice.
They're not just in it. I mean, you had Miss Jill Scott in there. I mean, shout out to Crondon. I mean, he was with exhibiting everybody rapping, and he played a pretty convincing villain. Although I'm still confused. This is some Chicago like political stuff, I think. But like I said, C2E2 was huge. But why in the hell did they have a Heroes and Villains convention at the Rosemont Convention Center the same weekend? Crondon was here.
And they had, he was.
The same weekend, yeah, he was there. He was here the same weekend.
And they had a zombie thing too as well.
I think they always have that with Walking Dead, don't they?
Yeah. That's all on the same weekend? I mean,
no, I don't think that's the same weekend, but no, that Heroes and Villains, that was the same, because Crondon, because I was like, someone else said, yeah, I was just talking to Crondon. I'm like, what's he doing in Chicago? He was like, oh, well, he's going up to the convention. They're like, didn't you see him? I'm like, no, I saw everybody C2E2. And they're like, no, it's Heroes and Villains. I was like, oh.
What was at the Rosemont?
Yeah, it was in Rosemont.
Yeah, we was occupied, so we didn't walk in there at all.
But, yeah, it's crazy. But, see, that's the thing. Like, South by Southwest is the beauty of it. Like, the whole city is just coming together and bringing a bunch of ideas, and every year they expand. It's not just, it's not just the music where everyone think it is. It's the tech, which is an interactive. It's the film. They scream Blockers down there. They scream Quiet Place. They scream Krypton. Another DC TV show that looked like it's taking Superman and the Man of Steel seriously, and they actually doing a good job on it. By the way, they're doing they got the Brainiac. Everybody, that production is awesome. That's one reshoot, because I remember they kind of trashed everything and went back to the drawing board, and it's good. I highly recommend that.
Okay, that's
also pretty good. They're like they had to be 4 episodes in by now.
Nice.
So I highly recommend that. The mythology is things like, oh, I never knew this angle from Superman, and it's the House of El, and it's about the family structure and how they interact. It's some pretty
engaging. Krypton origin story in a way. And something similar to like Batman Begins, where not Gotham, but Batman Begins, where you get to know like, oh, that's
and it's a Terminator type, a Terminator / Back to the Future type deal, because it's time travel, because it's this kid that's coming back and give Kal-El's or Superman's crest.
Emblem.
And then like he's like, what is this? This is what your grandson is going to wear in the future. Like, it's some nice stuff in there. So it's time travel. It's the older Brainiac trying to destroy Krypton before Superman is born. I highly recommend watching that. And then speaking of South by Southwest, DC had that pop up with that awesome panel. They had the Batmobiles out there. The one from Justice League. Is this a smile of satisfaction? Anyway, they had Justice League there, and they had several from the other Batman and Dark Knight films. They also had Aquaman statue and several exclusive books, such as this, Superman 80 Years.
Bam.
And this poster back here that shows all the issue.
Bam.
And you were saying that...
Well, the Action Comic 1000th issue, Superman 1000th issue. I can't even say it out my mouth because it's just so astonishing that the comic book made it to the 1000th issue in general, and it sold out in a day. So yeah, that was crazy. That's part of the wave and phenomenon of what DC has going on, man. Good old Superman.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why Bendis is over there right
Yeah,
now.
well, he's moving. He's going to DC, and he's going to work on. Probably going to work on a lot of stuff. Bendis is a busy guy. He's going to probably do some Batman stories and Superman stories as well. Justice League, just whatever you want to do, man. I think he's going to have an open floor. It's kind of great if he do that and have Jim Lee drawing like Superman and Justice League.
Jim Lee is executive editor now.
Oh,
he's
that's
executive
dope.
editor on the Doomsday Clock series.
That's dope. That's dope. Yeah.
And he's working with the movie, so hopefully Warner Brothers have learned their lesson.
He's working with the movies now?
Yeah, he's on the Batman vs Superman. That's why he's on my Batman vs Superman.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Jim Lee is more of a presence. So hopefully,
I don't want to go there.
I mean, he is. I mean, well, he's credited as being there. So I don't know what happened behind the scenes.
Okay.
So hopefully, moving forward, they learn from the whole Justice League debacle with Lost Whedon, they move on from there. And also back to South by South real quick.
Yeah,
it's not just the music; it's also the film, as mentioned, but it's also the gaming. They had all types of events with Twitch, live tournaments, a lot of like technology with the virtual reality, augmented reality. So it's a whole 9 days. It went from the 9th through the 18th of March. And it's around the same time every year. In fact, you could go to the site and they'll be talking about 2019 now.
Nice. Okay.
So I highly recommend it. The experience is crazy. You never know how you could interact, who you interact with. You could be hanging out and a lounge or a party area, and you could be walking up to the executive of some kind of company that may be interested in your work, or you wanted to work with them. And it's that kind of thing that makes South by Southwest so beautiful. It's not all the pretension that you get. It's just like Jim Lee came here, you had to wait in line, you got gatekeepers, you got dude folding the arms at the door.
No, can't even with those shoes on. It's a comic book store. I don't care.
You got a t-shirt with a comic book on it. Well, what else supposed to wear? Suit and tie, man.
Suit and tie, man. Dress to impress.
It is kind of facetious, but it's not far-fetched. The point being is, I highly recommend you check it out. There's previous things I talked about before. It's everything from the Rotten Tomatoes.
Right.
You do the Fresh and Rotten. Right. Shout out to Mark Ellis who hosted that.
What up, Mark?
Good. You learned about Chic and Nile Rodgers. If you didn't see them at Coachella, which was awesome, they're gonna be touring because they're coming out with a new album. Shout out to Salida with the cryptocurrency and blockchain and Ethereum. It's Sudan Archive, an artist who plays the violin and does her own beats. It's a bunch of things. We can talk for hours, but we're moving on to the C2E2.
The C2E2, the most current event that we both was a part of. It was pretty. It's a different experience. We experienced it last year, and it was totally different from last year. So
it was different in a couple of ways.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jordy.
Yeah, shout out to Jordy. Jordy Belair.
She wasn't here this year, but she's part of the reason that put the spark that have us to where we here now without, depending on how editing goes, 11 to 12 episodes.
Right.
So, I mean, all I say, so that's why we say subscribe to the channel.
Right.
And you'll be abreast of what's up there. And you can always go back. That's the beauty of YouTube.
Yeah, it's all up there. So no worries. But
no worries. So
But shout out to Jordy, you know what I mean? She kicked it off, and actually C2E2 was kind of the birthplace of, what we was trying to do and what we're doing right now. So it always just pay homage to the whole place in general. And this year was...
Shout out to Mike, too.
Yeah, shout out to Mike, Gabe, everybody who, you know what I'm saying, Repop, all you guys that looked out for us, First Aid Comics as well. So where do we start? So we saw so many people and met so many dudes and got so many things signed and shit. It's amazing.
It was just awesome. I mean, we can say that we met the infamous Mark Millar.
Yeah,
Mark Millar, who gave us such things as Kingsman 1 and 2 and Kick-Ass.
But he's also doing a new issue of Kick-Ass. If you guys have not been in tune to the new issues of Kick-Ass, it's pretty dope. Kick-Ass is a black girl. And he's doing the black perspective in this version. So it's pretty dope. He also did Hit Girl, Civil War. He wrote
Civil War
for Marvel. The movie, like he mentioned before, is on Netflix. But
the iconic scene from the movie,
and that's what it's based off of. This comic right here, as you see, his little initials on it and stuff. So he wrote a lot. Oh, and Old Man Logan. So all you Logan fans that love that movie, it was loosely based off it. I mean, Old Man Logan is a very deep storyline. But
it's a lot going on, but for what they did with it,
it's good.
It still was a road trip. It still was very visceral.
Yeah. He done a lot of work, and he's continuing doing work, and we met him. He's a really cool, down to earth guy. He was breaking down all the Netflix things and the episodes that's going to come out soon. Because if you don't know, he definitely made a deal with Netflix where all his properties, what we just mentioned, will have spin-offs, and maybe we'll see the new Kick-Ass, the black girl Kick-Ass on Netflix. You know what I mean? Like we don't know. So there's a lot of new things developing from his whole universe. You know what I mean? And he's still continuing working, which is good. It's just good to see these creatives, to meet them and just be cool, and and they still doing their work and everything's fine.
Yeah, it was hilarious on the panel because they had a keynote speech. It was Mark Millar and
Brian Bendis.
They were chilling, and it's this running joke that who was it? Bendis. Like Mark Millar pretended to be the playwright. So David Mann is British, and so Mark Millar pretended to be David Mann, and he played a joke on Bendis. And so it was an ongoing joke. He got Bendis, and he got all worked up. So it turns out they were in a similar studio, be it the actual David Mamet and Bendis. And someone, he was like, "Oh man, what's going on?" And Bendis was saying to his staff, "What's going on in the studio down there?" "Oh, David Mamet is here." And he's like, "Damn it, Mark!" So he stormed down the hallway, and he busted the door on me like, "Damn it!" And then it was really David Mamet. And that was hilarious. That was a hilarious anecdote.
Yeah, that was
but that's the kind of guy Brian Michael Bendis is. He's a really good guy. He was one of the few people. I don't know if you've been to these Comic-Con things before, but normally if you want to, the autograph stuff, you got to pay.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then it's broken down in this tier. You're like, if you want a picture, then it's this. If you want a signature, it's that.
You get really financially complicated when it get down
real quick. So the fact that this guy not only for a flat rate signed your damn collection away, and he took the picture. He came from behind the booth and took the picture. And he was happy to do it. South by Southwest too.
Oh, cool. Yeah. So real friendly, approachable guy, and just cool to meet these creatives. Like I said, Bendis is really cool, and they're open to talk to you about things. You know what I mean? About, if you have any questions, if you had any dislikes or likes or whatever, they're always open to hear it. And they always encourage that with the fans as well. They always want to stay in tune and touch with the fans, which I always like this a little bit better because, it's just that genuine care for stuff. You feel that a little bit. It's just good energy.
It's real good energy, and it makes you feel good about your purchases.
Yeah, indeed.
Like you bought his Iron Man, for instance, and then he just signs it.
Yeah. And that's the Invincible Iron Man. Yeah, he done so many Iron Mans. He signed my Riri. He signed the Doctor Doom. He signed
the infamous Iron Man.
Yeah, the infamous Iron Man, Doctor Doom.
Variant cover.
Yeah, variant cover. Bendis, get it in. So
he does a Spider-Man too.
Yeah. He
does a Spider-Man storylines.
Spider-Man storylines. He done a lot. Bendis stay working, and I can't wait till you go to DC and see what they're going to do We also bumped into Tom King from DC as well, and he's pretty cool. He's another one of those guys that's just really down to earth and just really love to, like, you got comic books, let me just sign all of them, put them right here.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, cool. And he'll ask you what you want to see next in Batman. You know what I mean? And we had a little conversation about Clayface. He was like, well, you know what they did to him? I was like, fuck what they did. Let's erase this and do something different. And he kind of liked that. He kind of liked our conversation. So, yeah, Tom King is cool. I also bumped into the other guy from DC, Michael Schelling. What's up, man? Yeah, he's we ran to a lot of DC representatives and stuff, and just giving a shout out. You know what I mean? Cause
he had quite a bit of the background on the whole Justice League and the upcoming moves of Aquaman and stuff like that. So yeah, shout out to Michael Shelton. He was really...
Michael Shelton. He doing his thing, man, and yeah, definitely ready for some more information for the DC. So drop us a line. So
it's interesting though. Because also announced today, Kevin Feige said that it's not going to be a big deal at Comic-Con in San Diego. I'm starting to think it's losing its lusters per se. In fact, well, it could be just the timing of everything. When next year is D23, next year is Star Wars Festival. So
it's D23 next year? I
yeah.
thought it was every 2 years.
Yeah, it was last year, 2017. It's every odd year.
Oh.
So it's 2019.
Oh, next year. Okay.
Yeah, I'm tripping. Even though this is a 10-year anniversary and Black Panther kicked off the 10-year anniversary of Marvel Comics, well, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they're going to have something to commemorate that, but it's not going to be anything big. But DC, they should pretty much take over. It should be a Warner Brothers thing almost.
I mean, yeah, after all the smoke is cleared, the last people standing, I mean, if they're going to do the Birds of Prey, if they're going to do...
They just announced a director for that.
Yeah, Batgirl may still be in circulation along with that storyline.
Yeah, they got a script now since they got rid of Lost Week.
Oh man, that's a great one. All right, yeah. So it got Birds of Prey. Batgirl could still come into play. I think eventually maybe a Harley movie, Joker movie with
Joaquin
Phoenix, where I'm actually geeked about.
I saw You Never Were Really Here, and I like artistically the movie. Narratively, it could have been told better, but I mean, as far as his character and what he parlayed as someone that was seriously tormented. I mean, my God, dude was suffocating himself. Like, he would wrap his head in a plastic bag. Like, what? He was...
Yeah,
it was like, what the...
But, but he's going to play Joker. And,
is that confirmed, or is that still...
Well, I don't know. It's still in the air,
but... He was going to be Doctor Strange.
I don't want to see him.
Yeah, he was going to be Doctor Strange.
I don't want to see him as Doctor Strange.
But he was a leading guy before. I think he dropped out because he said he didn't want to sign a contract.
Because he didn't want to do continuing movies.
He didn't want to do continuing movies. Yeah. So ironically, he got yet another Amazon Studio movie coming out this summer. So I guess.
But if they could grab him for a standalone Joker movie, in my head that would be dope. But it's a lot of things with it because I heard they're trying to do a Joker origin story. I don't think they should do a Joker origin story because
there is no origin. It's outside of having a bad day that was in the Killer Joke.
Not yet. Batman just revealed that were actually 3 Jokers, and we're going to get down to who are these 3 Jokers. So
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it's time. It's like. From the 60s to the 90s until now, it would have been 3 different Jokers. So we're about to get a Joker origin story.
Actually, it's been 4.
Well, 4. Yeah, actually it is 4. Yeah, actually it's 4. Because the Batman That Laughs, he's also included as well. So, it's a lot of Jokers. So we're about to get a Joker origin story. We're about to get a Joker origin story. So let them do that, and then you guys do the movie. But moving on.
Yeah, man. Back to C2E2, Charles Soule, name might not jump out at you, but he is responsible. He just came out with a new book, The Oracle Year. Right. Pretty much it's kind of like The Dead Zone, an old Christopher Walken film from the 80s. Oh. And essentially, dude gets, it's not a premonition, but he get a bunch of predictions that end up coming true. And his whole quagmire is, does he sell it and become rich? But then it's like, everything don't go according to plan, and it's some shadowy organization that's after him. And I didn't finish the book yet, but it's called The Oracle Years.
Nice.
Shout out to Charles Soule. He was all pretty cool because it's not just that. He did some other story comic book too, but more notably, Daredevil. Now, he couldn't talk about season 3, but he did say he liked the TV show on Netflix. And it was supposed to be the Resurrection timeline, if I'm not mistaken, with Mayor Fisk. So, we don't know. We don't know.
That's cool. That's cool.
But yeah, Charles Soule, he was really cool. He was there. Who else was there? We had Sean Gunn. Captain got to teach stuff.
Really cool dude, man.
Yeah.
Really cool dude. He done a panel with Dave Bautista as well.
Right.
Yeah, and
that was just funny, because from the Dave Bautista panel, I learned that for everyone that's been following Dave Bautista since the Iron Fist, I mean, he's been in several movies, but I know about Iron Fist.
Since WWF, all right?
Fair enough.
All right. Fought the Undertaker to Thanos. Jeez, all right.
Yeah, right. What else he's done? He's done James Bond Spectre.
Yeah.
And he was in Guardians of the Galaxy Tracks. And he was also in
this independent film Bushwick on Netflix, which is awesome. I really like that one.
Blade Runner.
And Blade Runner
2049.
Yeah.
So he quickly quipped on how
he's in something new.
Yeah, we're gonna get to that in a second. But he quipped in Blade Runner how, if you've seen the film, he thought he was gonna be this brooding replicant that terrorized the Ryan Gosling character and menacing. But it was, he said, like, when he first did his first casting, it was really nothing like that. Like, the guy was more sympathetic, more heartbroken at the way things turned out. And you saw that in the performance. And I was like, oh, man, that's pretty cool. That's some insight I did not know. Not to mention, in person, Dave Bautista's pretty funny. Pretty funny guy. I mean, it's not just a Guardians. That's a real comedic timing that he has. And there's a whole thing at the booth. Remember what we stated earlier about going to these Comic-Con events and the signings. Well, we thought like we had press badges and we said like, hey, why don't we just bully for this thing? I mean, what the hell? We're special. So we go up there, we get up to the front of the line, and the guy, first of all, everyone tried to seem important that was at the actual counter. Because, everyone got their arm folded, everyone doing something.
Everyone tried to.
And it turns out these are just lackeys at best sometimes.
Yeah.
They don't even know who the hell they watching.
Yeah, they don't even know to pronounce the names of the people.
It's like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. But then we don't know who they are, so we can't go in on them like that. But even still, it was like, well, we wanted to set up an interview. We're like, oh, you can't do nothing in the interview there. I mean, no, dude, in the future. And then we got past that. We got past that guy. Then we moved forward to the second. We moved past, the cashier.
Yeah, we ran into the cashier.
Yeah, well, we were
the collector. I call
the collector. Nice one. We passed the collector, and she was like, "Well, you just go say hi." I was like, "Yeah." So we chopped it up with Bautista, and mentioned the panel and everything. Mm-hmm. And so we just chopped it up for a couple quick seconds. The line was getting short, so then. Cos can do it better than I can. So I was like, yo.
So Max, he's like, yo, can I get you to sign these couple of things real quick?
I had my Guardians.
And he had to see. I'll give y'all a tip. If you want to get something signed, just have it out already. Just have it out and just throw it on the table and just let go and talk. That's going to be my tip. If you don't learn anything about a Comic-Con, that's one thing you should do. Already have it out. So he's going in his bag, trying to pull it out, and and Bautista sat just like this. I was like, yeah, come on, do it. And he gave him the egg on to do it, and Maxine's going in the bag. As soon as he's about to pull it out, the collector comes and says,
Oh, it's kind of Marvel. It was almost like phase 2 of Marvel. I almost lost my arm.
It wasn't an Iron Man blast this time. So yeah, it was hilarious. You had to be there to see it. Bautista is a very funny person. Very funny in person. And humble.
Because he's very happy with the success he has.
And I'm probably kind of shocked. I mean, like I said, from WWF, the only reason I mention that because when you watch them in wrestling, I would have never seen them in these type of movies.
I'm not really a wrestling fan.
Of course you're not, but
no,
I wouldn't see them in none of these type of movies. And I've seen The Rock. Like I used to watch it. I know The Rock.
I knew The Rock, but The Rock had personality. I knew The Rock, even though I didn't watch wrestling. I knew who he was. I didn't know what half these other guys are. Actually, surprised I even heard of John Cena before. I heard of something. I mean, naturally Hulk Hogan, but some of these guys I've not heard of before because I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, well. Anyway, Bautista, I would never imagine him to be in movies. When I saw The Rock, I was like, yeah, Rock. Yeah, I see The Rock in movies. But Bautista was a big shock. And very dope, big roles in these awesome movies. So it's like, oh, all right, cool. And yeah, he's a humble dude about it. So, you know, it's all good. Shout out to Dave Bautista.
Actually, he had a small role in the James Bond Spectre, but he said you may see him again.
Yeah, I don't think it's over.
But if you saw the movie, you couldn't tell one way or the other. You just saw the car chase and that was it. So you just never know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that was quite the experience as well. Running to him, Sean Gunn. Of course, you know, in case you didn't know, Sean Gunn also plays Rocket Raccoon in addition to playing Cracklin. Because while they're filming the scenes,
he did the CGI.
He don't do the CGI. He doesn't do CGI. He's physically.
I mean, in the ball, dude.
No, he's just physically stooping down, so you have a point of reference as where you are eye level.
Okay.
Because he don't get into like Rocket is all like CGI animation, pretty much like a Pixar.
Okay.
As far as I've seen, like even behind the scenes, he stooped down, so you know what eye level to be at. So you don't say, "Hey, Rocket."
I've seen on the set, he actually, James Gunn do have an actual, little rocket statue that he used as well. So
right.
I don't know if James Gunn kind of tall, so if he's really bending down for all those scenes.
But then
I seen him on set with the Rocket Raccoon dog.
To show your type of auteur that James Gunn is, he actually have his brother Sean recite the lines, so you actually interacting with someone. So that does make a difference. Yeah. Versus you just say you're talking to, hey, you just
angry,
right?
Hey, got me kicking grass. But anyway, yeah.
That was.
Sean Gunn is cool, and another humble guy. You know what I mean? And it was just cool. Rub elbows with these people, man. So
and look out for Bautista and Ndobo in a new Hotel Ornaments movie that's coming out actually at the first week of June.
Nice.
So it's coming out right after Solo, right after Deadpool, and before I think it's coming out the same week as Ocean's 8.
Nice.
And before Incredibles 2, come out right before that, and Jurassic World and everything else is coming out in June. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy summer movie wise. I mean, I actually think this may be one of the bigger summers because unless everything just fall terrible and been lackluster, I think this film's not gonna do well. I don't know which ones they are yet. Like last year, I mean, I got surprised with money, but pretty much I called everything else as being the successes or failures that they were. Right. Also, speaking of movies and stuff, I met Tyler Bates, who does the scores for a lot of, who did scores for both Guardians of the Galaxy movies. And he actually does a lot of work out of Chicago sometimes. I'm amazed at people that reference Chicago, like, oh yeah, I come here from time to time, this, that, and the third. You just never know who's in town doing what.
Yeah, that's true.
So this is a city that works. You just got to know what the hell where they at, what's going on. But he also did, Tyler Bates did Atomic Blonde. And I was like, well, how did that work out? And then I realized, he knew David Leitch who did John Wick, because he did the score for John Wick. And Tyler Bates also did the score for The Punisher, which is why you hear that same guitar and rugby. He did the whole series.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tyler Bates pretty versatile. You just never know. I always this is what we try to impress upon everyone or people or viewers who listen to this or view this, that key coaches are always good to be in front of the camera, but I don't know, it just gives a certain level of satisfaction. People say they don't care about details, but I beg to differ. I think by knowing these things, you could go back and appreciate and have a different lens or different ears when you look out for things by knowing who's doing the score, knowing who's behind the camera.
That's definitely
I mean, I can't say nothing about it yet.
No, you can't say nothing. I know he was about to go.
I can't say nothing about it. My lips are sealed until June. I can't say nothing about it. So I will say this: there is a difference. Who's behind the lens? As we can see, we're going to see everyone that kept saying "Oh my God, that was the best film in 2012." I don't know, dude. I think we're going to see something that kind of trumps that tenfold, if not 1,000-fold. Different eyes, different lens. Who's behind the camera? Who's behind the screenwriting?
But what he said is truly golden. I mean, that's another gem that we just dropped on y'all for real. You can be in front of the camera all you want, but once you get behind there and you start to see the people and the creatives behind it, yes, totally different perspective. So once you come back in front of that screen, in front of the camera or grab the camera or whatever, it's totally different. It changes whole eye up. So what you said is golden. It's so true.
And then also speaking behind the scenes, everyone like Michael B. Jordan and everything, and I actually forgot he was in The Wire, but
he was in The Wire?
Yes, he was in The Wire. He was a little kid that was hooked on drugs. He was in The Wire. Him and Idris Elba were both in The Wire.
Yeah, I know Idris.
Yeah, well, everybody knows Stringer Bell. But yeah, no, Michael B. Jordan, he got a start in there. Well, one of his starts. But if you can, look up the British GQ and look up an interview. He's like, people see the lights, the glitz and stuff. They're Michael B. Jordan, you this, do that, do that. But he said, you didn't see the times when I went to the gas station, pumped the gas, ran inside to get some snacks, and run back out, hurry up and pump the gas before they realized that my car would decline. Or the times I spent, lonely a lot of hours memorizing my lines, getting into character. So there's a lot of things that go into these things. It's not just...
It's sacrifice and hard work and, yes, seclusion and everything. But, I mean, no one's around there. It's one of those things. It's just one of those things, yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean...
Fucking people, really.
Shit. It's crazy. I mean, you just never know where life will take you. I don't know if anyone's American Gods fan. By the way, that is a graphic novel and comic book and TV show and stars.
Yes. Very good.
Season 2, they just had the celebration for it, and it's coming out soon. So I think sometime later this year.
Yeah, I think so. Later this year.
Yeah. So we had the honor of interviewing Yetide Badaki.
There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's super cool, man, and very down to earth as well. And she was a doll. She was interviewer for at least a good minute, man.
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Yeah.
And she actually geeks out. She actually a genuine geek.
Yeah.
And she came from Nigeria.
Yeah.
And she actually got to start here. As far as acting, she got her feet wet at the Victory Gardens Theater up in Lincoln Park.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that just goes to the point. You just never know what life.
Know. Yeah,
you
never know. So we have an interview of that. That will be separate of the show. That will also be available. The clips will be available on YouTube as well.
So that's coming out. We also interviewed while we on the interviews. We got to meet Ryan Meinerding, and they might not ring a bell, but I just went back and watched the movies because I was watching.
But this is what he was talking about with the behind the scenes. You know what I mean? Ryan is a very important person for these movies that we're watching because he's the designer for all of this. So all this artwork, and he was a part of that. He created that. As a matter of fact, it started in Iron Man, and they actually hired him and brought him on set. So this dude is designing and creating while they're filming, while everything is going on. And I know that's a hectic scene when you're in the midst and you got to create and draw and get all this going, and the director probably breathing down your neck, and producers. It's just crazy.
I mean,
so
it's just all types of things we learned in the panel. Like originally, Doctor Strange, for those who haven't seen him in Wheel, or you see him in Infinity War, or you see him in Thor, he initially was designed to have like a slim fit suit, and then the cape would emanate from behind and turn into the Doctor Strange uniform. But they didn't go with that. The Captain America, he actually went to World War II memorabilia, and he actually got things to pretty much help design and inspire him to make the Captain America suit.
Yeah. So yeah, we
the
definitely
Iron Man, arc reactor, he used the linear accelerator technology, and that's how he pretty much designed that from real physics concepts. So it's not just, oh my God. So when people say comic books fun, yes, it's fun. Colorful, yes, it's colorful. But look beyond the stories and see what's going on in some of these things.
Yeah, and it taps into real life events and science and everything. And we say this every episode but yeah, this is really what it is. And yeah, he designed all those movies and all of the costumes and characters and stuff like that. And he's a pretty creative guy. So yeah, we have an interview with him that will also be a separate segment that will be premiering soon after this episode.
Yes, and yeah, that's definitely an interview you want to check out because he gives some awesome insight. Yeah. And think about it, he goes from coming to come from this to this, and he make those decisions. So it's a lot that goes on with the movie making behind the scene, the creative process, and that's the inspiration. That's what makes a lot of this so exciting. Yeah. So I mean, the Ryan Miner thing is pretty much a big deal. We also have one other interview that we did live on the set, and that was which guy was this? This was not for Starks. This was Starks.
Cal Starks.
Yep, Cal Starks.
Yeah, Cal Starks, and pretty much he's the artist that's going to hold down the Rick and Morty comic book series for a minute. He pretty much going to be the home guy that pretty much take care of that. Since Rick and Morty is in, I don't know,
limbo for at least the next year.
Yeah, so
I mean, we want season 3 come out on Blu-ray. There's 2 editions. There's a regular one with Pickle Rick on the cover, and then there's a steelbook edition that has some of the 3D animation, and that's going to be at Best Buy. That'll come out May 15th.
Okay.
1 week after Ninja Batman on Blu-ray.
Oh. And Batman anime, check that out as well.
Yeah, so that's what Mike was telling me. He said he saw it and it was awesome.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he said he saw it. They screened it out in I thought it was South Dakota Con or something. They screwed up. Like, what? How they get that? So
wow.
Yeah,
so that's cool.
He said the reaction was awesome. So look out for Ninja Batman coming out May 8th on Blu-ray.
And along with Rick and Morty Season 3. So yeah, we chopped it up with Cal, and he just, give us the insight of what he can do with the characters in the Rick and Morty series, comic book series, and the difference from the comic books to the cartoon. So we definitely gonna have a separate segment for Cal Starks. For Rick and Morty, he's gonna hold it down to this cartoon comeback. So if you want your Rick and Morty, he's your source.
Right, and also if you notice, there's if you can see it, there's a character drawn on it. So that's something that leads into a couple of things. One, at these Comic Cons and these type of events, you have the artist corner. One of the key things at all the Comic Cons is that you get to meet the authors, the artists behind a lot of your favorite comic books.
But the pencilists, the ink guys, the colorists, and you know who's who because most of the time you see these artists doodling in their booth. You know what I mean? They all in their stuff. They just doodling. That's the cool thing about just Comic Cons and just seeing the creatives at work.
And you can always tell because they're usually enumerated and listed on the cover. So they make it simple for you. as far, well, simple for the users too, because sometimes that's a decision whether or not people buy certain issues.
Yeah, and there's also they make certain issues for you to meet these artists. Like there's white covers.
Right.
There's, actually, I learned because I had I got the Hit Girl all white cover. I was like, man, I'm just gonna get it because it's all white. But I didn't know the significance behind it. Yeah, you take this to the artist and the pencilist or whoever did the artwork. Yeah, they'll doodle their own little cover for you. You know what I mean? If you give them time, and that's why I always say, just drop it and just sit back.
I mean, like just like
talk.
Kyle Stocks.
Yeah.
This and even like it's not just comic book artists. Like a really good artist, depending on how they feel about it. Shout out to Hebrew Bradley because when I bought my calls,
right.
Flyboy T-shirt, he actually drew on a Flyboy.
Nice.
So yeah, I mean that's just an artist thing in general.
Yeah.
So it's not just relegated just to a little comic book and it's like, oh, but then that's just something you can appreciate. Art again, it's such a creative process. It's not what people think it is. Mm-hmm. It's not the same old. Mm-hmm. It's a really involved process as far as coming up with this, bringing things together. I mean, we could go on for days.
So yeah, man. So just always look out for the artists and just the creatives. Because I mean, one of my favorite creatives that I bump into at the C2E2 all the time is my homie Chris Claremont. Man, that's my dude, man.
Wow,
you like Ren and Stimpy right there, man. Yeah, he's cool. He signed my X-Men giant cover, fold out cover, #1.
He signed mine as well. Yeah, and we got the official seal.
And Jim Lee also signed this as well. So, this, you see this now? It's about to go in the vote for 20 years. See you later.
Yes.
So,
now that we don't have to worry about nuclear war so much anymore, you know?
Yeah, you know.
Kim from North Korea said he's going to stop his program.
Hey, hopefully.
So we might be around for 20 years.
Hopefully he's right. But if not, this will be in storage till
Somebody's going to be well off in 20 years.
So yeah, man, we chopped it up with Chris Claremont. He's real cool. He's one of my favorite dudes. If you don't know who he is, he joined up with Marvel Comics in 1975 to 1991. Did a very long run with the X-Men.
Right.
You know, the X-Men was a dying brand, and he went and just created the universe from Wolverine, Mystique, Storm, Rogue, Gambit, Mr. Sinister, Shi'ar Empire. He scripted a lot of classic stories from Days of the Future Past and the Dark Phoenix Saga, Extinction Agenda. It goes on and on. Like I said, this X-Men was #1 in 1991, I believe. One of the biggest selling comic books of all time.
Yeah.
So he's a very important dude. All these movies that you're watching, you're liking, or the X-Men mutant related, it came from him.
Even this, Legion. Season 2 just started on April 5th, so they should be on their 3rd episode. I think tomorrow will be, the 4th episode. So, if it's out on Blu-ray now, it's awesome. I like the lithograph on the cover, and it even comes with the world's angriest boy.
Nice. But also there's The Gifted, you know, he mentioned the Hellfire Club in there. That's some of his creations and stuff like that. And actually some of the, some of the actual characters is his creations as well. So, he created the Marvel, the Mutant Universe, and I love chopping it up with him.
He has a lot to say.
He has tons of stuff to say.
We have speculation. Be on the lookout this February, see if lightning strikes twice for Fox and Marvel with the Dark Phoenix. And we had a theory that maybe unofficially we might see some MCU integration because the Fox Disney deal. So you didn't hear anything official.
Nah, not
but
officially.
But then it's speculatory.
Where's the thing from Men in Black?
The nebulizer, the brain nebulizer,
right?
The neural nebulizer. So, at any rate, it could be possible because we got some insight. But probably one thing that is true that Simon Kinberg, who's been a producer on the Kingsman and a lot of the Fox comic book movies, including the X-Men, it was the November date was cool, but it wasn't like the extended date, 3-day holiday date, whatever. And don't say Thanksgiving because no one's going to see the Dark Phoenix. I'm not gonna say no one going to see, but I'm telling you, the subject matter of Dark Phoenix is not family friendly, and they already who knows what the hell Disney got out coming this November, and you're gonna be going against the Crimes of Grindelwald for the pre-Harry Potter prequel movies. So I agree with him, and like I don't think Dark Phoenix is more that fair, but now that February has become the gold mine for awesome storytelling. That's when we see it. New Mutants, we don't know.
We don't know. I mean, from what I heard is that they are trying to make it a horror movie. And I was just reading one of the issues that you have over there.
Yeah.
It kind of, I was reading it, I was like, oh, okay. I can kind of see.
It is a horror movie.
Yeah, I can see
it's
that.
It's a rated R horror movie.
It's a rated R horror movie. So
I mean, quite as kept. Legion is rated R. I mean, it's like wild sex scenes.
True.
Shadow King is super dark.
Yeah, that is true.
And it's like wild and trippy things going on in that TV show. That's on FX, by the way.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and Chris loves this. He loved that show.
Yeah. He speaks highly
about
it
he really
all
likes
the time.
Legion. So, but as far as Dark Phoenix and well, and not only that, I mean, another reason for the reshoots because they need to redo it over, and it may be integration. We don't know. But aside from that, half the actors in both of the movies are in Games of Thrones. So,
which I heard they filmed one of the biggest war scenes.
So season 8 is coming out when?
Soon. I don't have to.
Yeah, no one knows when season 8 is coming out soon. So
this year, dog.
Oh, I thought next year. I thought both Rick and Morty fans and Game of Thrones fans had to sit this year out.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. So, fortunately,
yeah, we do.
There's a lot going on.
There's too much going on anyway. I think my head would explode if all of this was happening because Westworld is coming out this year.
Right. Westworld already started. It came out yesterday.
I need to go. 2. Episode over. All right, I need to go and see this.
Season 2 already started, and then we got in another 2 months. Actually, from yesterday, I think June 22nd, if that's a Friday, that's when season 2 of Luke Cage come out. So that's coming out on Netflix. Also, speaking of Netflix and getting back really quick to South by Southwest, I met one of the key guys from Mondo. Mondo was the one who put together the amazing record package. They put premium vinyl. And they do the artwork and everything. And that's pretty important because it's like embossed bullets. And if you fold it out, you get that on one side. And on the other side, you get that. Cool. But the guy from Mondo, who also done several other iterations of different movie soundtracks and scores, said we should see The Punisher. That's done by Tyler Bates. And for this one, Alicia E. Muhammad and Adrian Young for the next Luke Cage. It should be 3 pieces of vinyl, so be on the lookout for that as well.
Nice. So, I know this is off topic, but I want to give a shout out to the Lost in Space remake they did on.
Is it good? I haven't seen it yet.
Good. I like it. I heard mixed reviews about it, but I really checked it out. I watched the whole season. It was really, it just captured me. It was a really good storyline, and it's a very good remake.
I'm impressed. I didn't think nothing like that attracts you, because, I mean, the Star Trek season that came on CBS is pretty good as well, and yeah, I didn't know what to expect, but if you haven't seen Star Trek, the recent Star Trek that comes out on CBS.
I heard those was good too.
Yeah, that's really good.
I'm just not a Star Trek fan. So.
I mean, you don't have to be a fan no more than you're a fan.
I take that back. I am a Star Trek fan, but it's I like Captain Picard.
Yeah, I like Picard. But I have not seen a lot of those episodes.
Oh, wow.
I've been more of the movie guy, more so the TV series, except for the original TV series. But Picard was the last TV series, and this is the first one, the recent iteration. With Michelle Yeoh, of all people, among others, was in. This is the first time I've seen that, the Star Trek. So that's probably going to be.
And the lady from Walking Dead is in it as well. The black lady, I forgot her name.
Oh yeah, that's what she's from. I'm not a Walking Dead guy. Yeah, I heard people were really massively disappointed with the ending.
With Walking Dead, I'm massively disappointed. I'm disappointed with how it turned out. There's a lot of things that I was like, oh man, like you could film war, but you got to do it at a certain. It just didn't. It wasn't captured right in my views, and a lot of whining and a lot of circling around. That's Walking Dead anyway, whining and circling around the same thing over and over.
I don't know, man.
So even with Negan, I thought it was going to be cool, but then a lot of other casualties happened and took out some characters where I'm like, this is insane to do. I'm not feeling this. So Walking Dead is kind of.
I like Negan in Rampage movie, which was surprisingly entertaining. Didn't expect much, but yeah, shout out to Negan.
I like Negan in Watchmen.
Oh, speaking of Watchmen, Ryan Meyerding designed him too.
Yeah.
So yeah,
there you go.
Check out the interview. But we can't forget about Christopher Priest, who did his line of Black Panther, and he's done some Dark Knight. And no, I don't think Superman, but I know he done some Dark Knight.
He wrote your name on it.
Yeah, so but then like speaking of Christopher Priest, there was also a panel at C2E2. Though we see a lot of diversity and everything, and we think we're crossing the bridge, there's still a lot that's not yet to be seen behind the scenes with the writing.
Absolutely.
So there are other.
Shout out to Kerry Randolph too as well.
Yeah. If you want to be an inspired writer, an artist, if you don't make it to be DC or Marvel, it's not the end all be all.
It's not the end all, but I mean, it's gradually getting there because you go ahead.
Yeah, there's just other issues with distributors. You got Oni Press, which also does Rick and Morty, by the way. Mm-hmm. And this is Death by Dark Horse Originals, two different publishers that also have a series of comics as well.
Yeah, there's tons of independent.
People real quick. People talk about the Me Too movement. It's not we see the high profile stuff, but it was one. Yeah, she's a black woman, and she was talking about how she went to the editors meeting, and dude damn near took off his pants as soon as she showed up.
Oh yeah, right.
So it was like, whoa, and this is like comic books. I mean, what about the kids?
They're not here right now.
I'm just saying, though.
That's crazy.
But then it just shows how pervasive the issues are of inclusion, equality, and just general mutual respect.
Absolutely. And yeah, we need to open those doors and kick down more doors. And reason I shout out Kerry Randolph and Christopher Priest because they definitely show the more diverse side of what's going on. Because we talk about all this stuff, but it's when it comes to race, it's not too many of us in there that's creating and drawing and all this. I mean, we're here. There's some writers, there's some colorists, there's some pencilists, but we're very sprinkled in. And like he said, you have to do the grind. You have to work until you. It's not like you'll never ever work for Marvel or DC. I'm not saying that, but it's definitely a work. You got to put in that work.
They're not the only two shops.
But they're not the only two.
And in addition to that,
Dark Horse, Image, Valiant,
Oni Press.
There's tons of them.
So definitely shop around if you're not.
IDW do Transformers. So I like those guys.
Yeah. So it's a lot. It's a lot out there, and I mean it's not just. Just white and black. It's everybody. So if you are creative, keep doing your thing. Don't just look for the two obvious choices. And yeah, that's pretty much the size of it. Yeah. I mean, some real quick darts. Speaking of Marvel, well, we mentioned Hotel Artemis, which has what's the guy named Steven? I can't think of his name. That played Ndobo from Black Panther. He's in it. You got Dave Bautista. You got Jodie Foster. You got Jeff Goldblum. You got a lot of people in the Hotel Artemis movie that's coming out beginning of June. You got Deadpool 2, which pre-sales has already gone on to break records for the largest rated R opening.
What the dick.
So yeah, that's happening as we speak. Denzel came out with 2 amazing trailers for Equalizer 2. He's going man on fire ham. Yeah. So I'm hard for that, dude. I mean,
his first sequel in his acting
career. Yep. So he's never done a sequel ever in his career. No sequel, no comic book, and probably one of the few black males that never had to wear a dress in a film.
And he will never wear one.
Shout out to Denzel. So Equalizer 2 come out at the end of July, right? In fact, right before Mission Impossible 6, which also look awesome because we finally get behind Mustache Gate and see why Henry Cavill must keep the mustache. So, but I gotta admit, the action look awesome, and the past 3 iterations have not let me down yet. I mean, there've been some very entertaining action movies. Plus, it's a nice little tech, a little like espionage. Mission Impossible probably next to Star Trek, which I recently found out, A Quiet Place has been the biggest hit for Paramount since Star Trek Beyond, and that's been almost 2 years ago. So they need a hit with this Mission Impossible 6. Because Quiet Place, definitely go see that.
Yeah.
It really is a nice, original, creepy movie.
Yeah.
It actually has some sci-fi element.
Nice.
So it's better than I Am Legend. I mean, I'll leave it at that. If you were disappointed and underwhelmed like I was, then you feel better. And yeah, you didn't see a poster for Transformers 10 or nothing like that, like you saw Batman versus Superman posters in I Am Legend. So they had 10 years to plan it out, and they still dropped the ball. What a shame. So yeah, that, and don't forget Ant-Man and Wasp. You had Jurassic World 2, which is looking a lot better than what it was before. Don't forget the Solo story that come out on Memorial Day. And you got the Incredibles 2 that which come out mid-June. But that's just a tip of the iceberg. Because I guarantee you, something like a Hotel Artemis, which is going to be, it's purported to be like a John Wick, a hospital John Wick style. It's a hospital for super criminals and heist people that you have to have secret codes and weapons. It looks the trailer's out there.
Yeah, it looked dope.
So you definitely want to check that out. And yeah, who knows? It could be some Get Out or some movie like that surprise you. There are also the tentpole blockbusters, but there's always more. And one last thing, Record Store Day. I just want to mention Record Store Day because this year, if you got the Stay Gold, record case, it came complete with a record that has the remix for.
If you don't know what the emblems mean, Stay Gold. I mean, he's just saying that you probably don't know what you talk about. Run the Jewels, LP, Killer Mike. They've been in the group for the past few years, and this is their latest release.
And that poster up there, you get that nice poster because they also this by the way is an official collaboration with Marvel. That's what make it just as relevant. As far as the vinyl is awesome too. It's this clear vinyl with chains. So so yeah, it's that. It's the Nas with this the symphonic orchestra,
which is sonically should be one of the best sonic rap albums ever made,
and also a really good package.
Yeah.
So, I mean, complete with a download card.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So also, if you're in Chicago, John Williams will be here. So you're a fan of Jaws, this movie, along with countless others, including the original Lost in Space theme. He did both of them. That's how long he's been in the game. Wow, that came out in the 60s. John Williams been in it for a while. He'll be in Chicago at the Chicago Symphony Orchestra this weekend, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday.
Word.
So it is a plethora of shows that I don't even want to get into, but that's pretty much the whole thing. Yeah.
So yeah, that's a wrap up, man. Yeah, it's been eventful month so far, and C2E2 was a blast. South by Southwest was a blast, and now it's like this 4 days before from this recording, it's 4 days to Infinity War. The month isn't over yet. We still got May, June, July to come up. The summer just kicking off. And we definitely going to be here capturing all this cultural goodness and stuff and spreading the news and joy with you guys at home. So I'm Kaz G.
K-Max.
Unscripted Nonsense. Where they can find you at?
On Instagram, on the IG, you can find me at CHI_K-Max.
Right.
K-M-A-X. On Twitter, it's at KMAX_Chicago.
Word. And mine's Southside Kaji at Instagram. I think I'm going to change my Twitter handle, but it's King of Slaps 95 at Twitter. And if I change it, I'll give you guys an update. But yeah, that's it.
Also catch on the last few weeks before we deal with University of Chicago Bureaucracy, CTA Radio on Wednesdays, WHBK.org, or locally at 8.5 FM, because I also want to mention the show too. It's also things that, it's music and everything. That's all, we always try to keep abreast. There's interviews on that. So that's WHBK.org at 8.5 FM or iTunes College Directory, and that's Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. to 12 a.m. Central Standard Time.
And check out for another program that I'm working on, 2 controllers and a microphone. I just filmed an episode where we did a review for the God of War new game, which is effing awesome. This is the reason for you to get a PS4. If you don't have a PS4, this game is just the reason alone for you to get it.
Still groceries. It's disappointed they don't play 4K Blu-ray.
They play 4K games, and God of War in 4K looks fucking awesome. So, yeah, definitely check that out. That will be coming soon to you as well. Word. So we out, man. We're out. Because I have to go and watch Westworld. Fuck this show. Nah. Kaji.
K-Max.
Unscripted Nonsense in your face. We out of here. Thanks. Subscribe, share, press the buttons, like, tell your friends, follow, comment, whatever. We out.
Week of Avengers.
We out. I'll do it myself.